Welcome, Wastelanders. It's the Fallout feed once again. Just a quick reminder, you can find us on Twitter at the Fallout feed. You can find us online at asapodcasting.com, where you can also find the roundtable schedule. And you can also find us on Twitch at asapodcasting.tv. And as always, you can email us at the falloutfeed@gmail.com. But don't forget our Facebook group, a Skyrim Addict podcast and the Fallout feed, possibly to be renamed soon. Possibly. We understand that some people are having some problems locating the group. And tonight I have Victor with me. Hi, Victor.
Howdy, howdy. How are you?
Pretty good. And how are you, Andrew?
Very well. How are you, Kara?
Pretty good. All
Great to
right.
be here. Just one quick point. You said asapodcasting.tv. It's twitch.tv/asapodcasting.
Oh, thank you.
Take us to our Twitch feed there.
That's right. Thank you. Sorry, I am actually running on interesting circumstances this week because my computer decided to have a critical process error and die. So my normal little notes to myself on what to say, how to introduce, so on and so forth, not currently available. I just got the baby back today, and it's like it's fresh out of the box. So.
Is there any hope for recovering data?
No.
It's gone forever.
I asked them to send back the hard drive with it and see if I couldn't play around with it, but they just didn't send it back. And I'm like, well,
you need to get on their case about that. They need to send that then. That's
What kind of laptop is it?
It's an Asus, and honestly, it runs like a dream. It just suddenly had a problem and died, and I had it under 2-year warranty, so I got this, all done free.
Oh, nice.
And they really. I gotta really prop Asus's that's hard to say, Asus's customer service. They were nothing but easy to work with, wonderful.
Oh, that's great.
I got to ship it in for free. They shipped it back to me for free. It was great.
Yeah, they're great. I have an Asus Republic of Gamers laptop to my right, and my desktop is an Asus Republic of Gamers desktop. But they're great company, good machines.
Yay. Yeah. They really are. I hear the rumor that was told to me was that they had in the past put out some pretty bad products, and so in recent years they've tried to reformat themselves as a customer-friendly company with amazing customer service, and I gotta say it works. I mean, my laptop kind of kaputted, but at the same time, the whole thing was so painless to just get through. I don't really mind.
Yeah, I think they got a bad reputation for their pre-built stuff. I used to buy a lot of their components way back. I've assembled a lot of computers over the years, and a lot of them had Asus motherboards in them. But they were a component manufacturer, and when they got into making stuff for the retail market, I think it got a little it wasn't too good for a while there. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Well,
I gotta say it worked.
Yep, the ROG stuff is great. It's good stuff.
Yeah, that's what I've got. Republic of Gamers laptop, and it's the best laptop I've ever had. And Fallout runs like a dream on it, which I am re-downloading, and it's currently I've been doing this for I think 4 hours now, and it's at 80% download.
Ouch.
So
you lost all your game saves too, huh?
No, not thanks.
Steam
Thanks to Steam.
Yeah.
Oh, Steam. Thank you.
Yeah.
Are you on a university network, Kara?
No. I
just on a home.
On a home, and normally
system.
My speed is amazing, but here lately I've been having problems with it, and it's just they keep adding on more people to the connection than should be added on, and then and then they're like, well, we need to buy more hubs and this and that. I was like, okay, well, how long is that going to take? Because I paid for the fastest speed you've got, and I'm not getting it. And they're like, oh, it takes a few months, and I was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. When is Google Fiber just going to be
Good luck with that.
I'm tempted to bring out my
Wi-Fi. In Provo. I mean, I guess there's other communities with it too, right? But
yeah. I've got a neighbor upstairs who totally cut his cables, and he's just with the AT&T Uverse stuff.
Oh, is it horrible?
And, well, in my opinion, yes, but for his needs, no. He's barely on the internet.
I
The
probably
only thing
couldn't
he goes on
stream
the
your
internet
game too
for.
well on Uverse.
No, I could not. No. And I also want to play games like what just came out or what has come out recently, especially with the Steam Summer Sale. Dead by Daylight, I'm getting ready to play that.
What is that?
Oh, it's a fantastic multiplayer game where like there's a max of 5 players, and one person plays the monster trying to kill everyone, and the rest play survivors trying to survive and
Ooh,
escape.
that's fun. That
So
sounds
it's like an Evolve clone kind of thing.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, oh man, it looks real nice. There's a couple of problems with it though. For example, it's hard to create a lobby where it's just you and your friends right now, unless you have like the full 5 members. Otherwise, you have to do a lot of hopping through different lobbies to find your friends. So hopefully that's something they're going to fix. And also, they don't do well with matching up players. So sometimes you'll have like a level 1 monster and someone who's like a level 20 survivor jumps in, and the monster doesn't have any hope to really beat someone with the perks that come with level 20 versus level 1. So
yeah, that sounds
there are a couple of problems.
Some balance issues, yeah.
Yeah. But luckily, I do have 4 friends. I have a total of 4, and I can totally just do that lobby with them and not have to worry about lobby hopping.
Cool.
Yeah. So, and of course, I asked around on the Facebook group because I saw, of course, the Steam summer sale, and I saw that Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 3 were on sale. And I said, okay, does anyone have any problems with, these older games on newer systems? And I knew that New Vegas supposedly works just fine for Windows 7 and up, but they definitely make a point of noting on the Steam store page saying it's really not optimized for anything 7 and up. So
yeah, and I believe, I don't know if this is still true, you have to run a thing called archive invalidation invalidated or something like that, I believe. It's all out there on the web. I had to do some things to get Fallout 3 to work correctly.
You know what, guys?
What's that?
They both work wonderfully on my PlayStation 3.
I'll bet they do.
You shut your mouth.
I'll bet they do.
I'm thinking about mailing my PlayStation 3 to my brother.
Oh my.
Oh, yeah?
Do I need it anymore, Victor?
I don't know.
I kind of want to play Red Dead Redemption again.
Yeah, there's all kinds of great games. Heck with your brother, man. He can fend for himself.
Well, he just got the Wii, and as a gift, I wanted to get him the new Star Wars Force Awakens Lego game, and he doesn't have a system to play. I think it's messed up that they have that game for past consoles, like the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360, but they didn't retrofit it for the Wii as well.
Well, that could be Nintendo.
Stupid Nintendo. It's for the Wii U and the 3DS, but not the Wii. I was so mad.
Interesting.
But so then I was thinking, oh shit, maybe I'll just mail him my PS3 and he can play it. But...
Well, I thought that did PlayStation quit doing, or I should say Sony quit doing backwards compatibility then?
Sony never did. I mean, not on the PS4 anyway. I don't know about the
Sucks. That should be the number one thing for a new console. Is should automatically play all old games as well.
Yeah.
Like your new Nintendo should be able to play the Wii CD size, the GameCube mini discs, the cartridges for the Super Nintendo, the N64. Just all the old cartridges. Could you imagine how awesome that would be?
Yeah, it doesn't.
I guess they just want you to continue repurchasing.
That's when you get one of those RAM or not, whatever they're called, those emulators or whatever.
Oh yeah,
it just plays all the games.
Yeah,
it's not the same though.
No. All right. Well, what have you guys been playing around with in Fallout? Because I am starved for Fallout stuff.
Oh well, I just started up, sort of diving back into it in the last week or so, trying to rebuild a game, kind of from the ground up, with some new ideas, and I sort of got inspired by the new contraptions workshop. Not because I want to build, marbled runways or anything like that. It doesn't really, interest me much. But the manufacturing and stuff. So I decided I'd try to sort of create a character who's kind of the I don't want to call him the king of the wasteland, because that's been used by other YouTubers and Let's Players and stuff like that. But he's going to be just a guy who builds everywhere. I want to build large settlements. I'm not going to do a whole lot of faction questing, because I'm going to wait and see what happens with the roundtable coming up for that. And I just want a guy who takes everything he can get and builds stuff, and use as many mods as I can possibly fit in there to change things. So I'm making Sanctuary my garden spot. I'm going to make the Starlight Drive-In my manufacturing center. That's where I'm going to experiment with the new contraption stuff. And that looks like fun. I've watched a few of the Let's Players who've been playing around with contraptions, and there's some really cool stuff you can do with those manufacturing.
I'm
tools.
really interested to know what those interesting things are, because I haven't messed with it a ton. But
I haven't either, and I've watched
the marble track is like the thing that I've noticed. What are the cool things? I haven't noticed the manufacturing stuff.
Well, you can set up makers, and there's some new. Actually a new, let me just pop in and out here. Find my mod organizer here. By the way, I posted this on the Facebook group. Actually, I have to get out of Fallout 4 here to look at in mod organizer. But mod organizer is now out, essentially, in a fairly stable form for PC for Fallout 4. The latest beta build really works well. And so anybody who wants to do modding and wants to learn how to use Mod Organizer, it's now available. You don't have to use Nexus Mod Manager anymore.
Will that also be available for console usage? Will I be able to build mods on a console ever?
No. Well, you can build mods that'll work on console, but that's not what
But
Mod
you can't
Organizer's
ever build
for.
them from the
No, Mod Organizer is a
itself.
mod manager. It's not a mod builder. It's just a mod manager.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's what Bethesda does for you on
See,
the
this
console.
is all still foreign concepts to me.
Yeah, no. Bethesda will do that for you for the consoles, and I suspect they'll do it quite well. I mean, they already do. I mean, they curate the mods pretty carefully. So this is just strictly for PC. But there's a new mod. Where is it here? It's called, if I can find, mechanical something or other, manufacturing extended, and it kind of it claims to do what contraption should have done. That kind of bold claim.
Yeah.
But it adds things like a recycler, so you can throw junk in it and it gets broken down into components rather than the other way around, which I think is what Contraptions does right now.
Wait, say that again? Contraptions?
Well, Contraptions, you put junk in and you get parts out, right? So you can make, you can make lunch boxes and things, so you can make bottle cap mines, and you can make, you throw in some steel and you tell it to make a lunchbox and it makes a lunchbox. With the recycler, you can throw in a lunchbox and you get the steel back out.
Oh, okay.
And
it's basically like scrapping. It's a scrap.
Yeah, kind of, yeah, except with a machine. You set it up with power and stuff like that. And one of the guys I watched online had made a perpetuum mobile kind of thing. So you put the puts dog dish into the recycler. This is just an example. This isn't exactly what he did, but essentially you put a dog dish in, you get plastic out, and the plastic runs along a conveyor belt and back into another machine, which goes back and makes
a dog dish.
Yeah, it keeps going around and around.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, it was kind of cool.
I'm glad people are doing that.
And
I need to go spend a couple hours on YouTube and just see what everyone else is doing, and then get some inspiration from there.
Now I think that this doesn't say this on here, but a mod like this manufacturing extended, does it require a script extender? I think it's available on Bethesda.net, so it should be available for your Xbox. So, yeah, and he's added some conveyor things that contraptions didn't come with, so that you can now fork things, and he's got it allows joining belts at a 90-degree angle, so things can move that way. I don't think the vanilla contraptions does that. It's just a really cool extender for contraptions. So I haven't played with it yet. I saw it being used on a couple of videos, and so I've loaded that up. And several other ones, some of which I also think might be available on. Let me look here quickly. I'm going to look through these on the Nexus, because a lot of these guys are now mentioning that the mod is also available for consoles on their Nexus pages. So I don't know if Homemaker, which I've used before, which adds a whole ton of cool stuff to the building menus. Lots of landscaping things, trees and rocks and flowering bushes, well, things that are great for somebody like me, where I spend hours and hours just farting around, putting stuff together and building things, and not really playing the game a whole lot.
Well, shit, that's why these games are great.
Exactly,
that's
what
sort of feature to them.
Yeah, that's what makes them great. So
and I know this is way, way, way far off in the future, but I'm really excited to see what the next Elder Scrolls does by incorporating like city building or something.
Oh yeah, me too.
This is going to be amazing, I'm sure.
Yeah, this is sort of, I think we've said this before, this is kind of the natural extension of what Hearthfire did for Skyrim.
Exactly. Yeah.
And hopefully it'll be an evolution. Although there's some people who are carping about, well, all this contraption stuff is taking away from the real the core of what the game should be, a role-playing game.
Well, who cares? Don't do
more
it then.
Story, blah blah blah. Yeah.
That's just like those people who are like, I hate gay marriage or something. It's like, well, then,
I don't know, that's a bit of a stretch.
Then don't get gay married if you hate it so much, you dummies.
That's funny.
Sorry.
But yeah, I understand where you're going with that. Yeah. It went in a slightly different direction than I was expecting. But
sorry about that. Out of left field there. Right. What's the expression?
So.
Oh no, we can't do that.
Yeah. No.
We got to keep everything civil out there. We're a good, docile community here. No one hates each other.
I come from a town with rainbow crosswalks. So yeah.
Yeah.
So
Indianapolis had a rainbow flag at half mast after the Orlando thing.
Good for them.
I was really impressed.
Yeah, good for them.
Yeah. It's the same thing here in Dayton, where there are a lot of conservatives, but still there was a lot of respect paid, for the loss of life.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah. So let's see what else. I don't know if you want me to prattle on about mods and things or not. But,
I haven't done a ton in the game, so yeah, whatever you want to do. I've done a couple of things farting around Far Harbor, like the Red Death. And is that what it's called? Red?
I don't know. I haven't played Far Harbor at all yet, so I'm
Kara?
Wait, which one?
The Mariner mission. Is it called the Red Death or something?
Yep, the Red Death.
Yeah, I did a couple of just small things like that. But
did you go see the Red Death?
I did, and it's amazing.
It is pretty amazing.
This is a problem I found and went online, and a lot of other people had this problem as well. When you go on this mission, I'm not going to spoil it for everyone, but when you go on this mission, You need to speak with a mariner, and it's sort of a little side quest. And there's this monster that's been terrorizing the harbors of Far Harbor with ships going back and forth. It's evidently causing shipwrecks and killing men and eating people. This horrible monster. Anyway, you have to go and deal with this monster. But there's this glitch that I came to. When you get on it makes you get on a boat and takes you to through a separate load screen to a completely separate area that you can't get to, I don't believe, by just like swimming to it. Can you, Kara? Have you tried to swim there?
Oh no, you cannot.
I didn't even open the map to see what sort of the map looked like. I didn't know if it was on the Far Harbor map or not. But anyway, it takes you via load screen on a boat, much like arriving at Solstheim, in the Skyrim.
Oh, okay.
So you show up to this island and you have to deal with this monster. Anyway, I show up and the sound starts playing and the mariner is talking to me and I can hear my boat engine running, but the screen is still black. And my graphics won't come back. And I was like, well, that's kind of weird. So I hopped around a little bit and I was just like, well, I'll just go ahead and reload and we'll start again. So I went and talked to the mariner again and we did our whole rigmarole and came back and then again, just a black screen. I don't know what's going on here. So I kind of looked into it a little bit. Actually, no, I played around. I hopped off the boat because I could hear myself splashing and then swimming. When I went underwater, I could see the silhouette of me swimming and the horizon in a lighter shade of gray than pitch black like the rest of the screen. So I could kind of see something a little bit. And I had the quest marker popped up at the bottom of the screen. So I knew, oh shit, there's something around here. I don't know what's going on. So I just kind of swam around the water. And then I looked it up online, and the person said I had the same glitch, and how I got through it is you swim towards the quest marker, and when you get like within a certain distance, hit the VATS button, and that will shock the graphics back on for some reason. So I did that, and it worked perfectly, and then I could go do the mission just fine. So if you ever are in Far Harbor and you get a black screen going after the Red Death, just jump off the boat somehow and start swimming towards the quest marker and hit VATS when you get close to it. That'll kick it back on.
Huh.
Yeah. That glitch sounds like my nightmare. Remember me in foggy water and, like jumping into the water and the way you're describing, I'm like, that just sounds like my nightmare.
I can't see anything, so I'm going to jump into the ocean and swim around when there's reported monsters in the area. That sounds safe.
What did you decide when you got back to the Far Harbor, what did you tell the mariner to do?
Oh, do you want to get into
when both you and the mariner
stuff?
Yeah. Well, unless you think it's too spoilery by now.
I don't know. The Far Harbor's been out a few weeks now. We can mention that's not even the main quest line anyway. It's just a little side quest.
Yeah.
I don't even remember exactly what the options were, but I think one of them was like lie to them and tell them it was a monster. That was a gigantic beast or something, right? So I told her, like play it up. Pretend it was See, now we have to spoil it and say that the Red Death wasn't actually a gigantic monster.
Well, Casey and I kind of spoiled it last time. We gave some pretty heavy hints, I think.
Yeah.
We were not light at all with that.
Yeah. Well, it's a fun little thing. Go do it, and the mariner, let her keep her pride. It's a she, I assume, right? I think it's a she.
It is. It's a she.
Okay.
I told her, do the right thing, just be honest, and they heckled the hell out of her.
Oh, well,
she was like, this is how I'm going to be remembered.
Why does it just fall on her heads? I thought there was like other sailors who were struck down in fear about this theoretical monster, and they had been shaken in their boots. But what about them? Why is this fall on the mariner? Why is it her fault?
Because people suck.
Because it's easy to demonize a woman. That's why.
You have to get political again.
I'm sorry. I need to stay off of that.
The fluffy gets political.
No, but
Uh,
that came up a couple weeks ago on something where they were demonizing women in this
it
game
was
as
our
well.
last podcast, I think. I haven't finished listening to the last roundtable episode. Polite golf clap to you guys for that, by the way. That was very well done, what I've heard. I mean, I've got like 53 minutes left or 43 minutes left, but good job on the roundtable season. Loved
Oh,
it.
well, thank you.
Thank you.
So unless you mentioned it in that episode, I know that it was brought up in the last Fallout feed episode. I don't remember what it was about. I'm lost. Yeah.
Oh.
I'm just not even going to pretend that I can figure that out at this time of day.
Well, I also had another couple of things, just real quick. There are 2 gorillas, synthesized gorillas in the Institute, and there is a way to not have them die and escape the Institute, and you can build these gorilla cages and catch these gorillas. My question is there a limited number of gorillas? Are there only going to be 2 ever in the game?
Wow.
Well, are they a male and a female gorilla?
Well,
And can synths multiply?
I'm not sure if the game would work that in or not. See, I'm hoping because I believe that all the gorillas are dead in both of my playthroughs that I've gotten to that point in, so I can't catch them as far as I can tell. So I was hoping that just by building the cage, that it would not what's the word, spawn. It would spawn more into existence instead of just the 2 dead ones. I'm not sure if it would do that or not, but at this point it's been weeks and weeks and weeks and still haven't caught anything. So I'm assuming that there are only 2 in the whole game, and that's it ever. Wow. And I'm assuming that is the exact same with the boy trap that they built. Like, I'm pretty sure that if you lost Sean, you can build the boy trap and catch him again, but I don't think you can just catch a lot of boys.
Were you hoping that you could?
Well, I know it sounds inappropriate like we said in the last one, but I just thought it would be fun to have them all like picking corn or something.
Oh, so you're into child labor. Okay. No, that makes it better.
I'm a dictator over here. I'm a role playing. I'm not. This is not me. This is a character I'm playing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay,
anyway, I did finally find Sean. I was missing him in this playthrough. I thought that we mentioned it in the last episode. I thought that they automatically would send Sean, the boy version of Sean, back to, and I said Sanctuary Hills only. Like that was the only option. But I did just find him in this game when I went to the railroad, and he was walking around there talking to people. So he automatically went there after we blew up the Institute when all the synths were evacuated.
Yeah, I was wondering what would happen because I did the same thing with Morgan and his Brotherhood of Steel, but I convinced Elder Maxon to let the boy.
Okay, so he went back to the Pridwin.
Well, I don't know because that was such a crashy game. I have it sort of archived somewhere, but it really isn't stable enough to
load it and see if he's
there. I may try, but it's I have it sequestered in a different directory. Well, because I moved everything over to Mod Organizer, and in so doing, I've just created all new saves. So yeah, it's off somewhere. I rarely ever throw away my characters, but they do get sort of put in the Hall of Fame, and never to be
retired.
Yeah, never to be pulled out again.
Never to be seen or heard from again.
But yeah, I'd like to. I was curious about whether Sean would show up, young Sean would show up on the Pridman or not.
He did, and then after you find him, you can tell him to go wherever, to whatever settlement you want to.
Oh, okay.
So I told him to go back to Dalton Farm on Far Harbor.
Oh, nice.
And I went there, and he was there.
Oh, cool.
And he was like, "Hey, if you get me a bioscanner, is that a piece of junk? Something like that.
Yeah.
If you get me this random piece of junk, I can maybe do something fun with it." So I'm waiting to see what he'll build. I've heard other people say that he like builds little laser pistols or
cool.
Or, I don't know, toys or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I think those are mostly, you get those at hospital locations usually, is where you get is it bioscanner or biosensor or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But evidently he just asks for junk and gives you cool stuff in return at a later date. So
nice.
I'll be interested in checking that out. So it looks like there's a limited number of gorillas as far as I can tell. I'll report if I find differently, and there's probably only one Sean in the game. You probably can't catch a bunch of boys.
Yeah, that wouldn't make any sense to have more than one Sean.
What else have I done? Oh, I had a whole robot farm going over here at Dalton Farm. Then I took Curie, and she was following me, and then she did the whole like, oh, pardon me, can we talk for a moment, please? And you go talk to her and hear her story. So I went and did her synth thing over in Good Neighbor at the Memory Den. So she's running around, and I like Curie. She's really cute.
Yeah, Curie's a good companion. Right now, I have on my current playthrough, I'm using so the mods are starting to really pop up and appear. Now that the creation kit is out, has been for many weeks. So there's a good companion mod out there now. So I'm using that. So I'm running around with Codsworth and Dogmeat. And they're a great combination. It's a really good team. I like Codsworth a lot. So
I don't know that I've brought him out too much, other than like right at the beginning of the game.
He's great, and he's pretty powerful too. He's got a lot of good funny lines, and I don't feel any pain, Stuff like that.
Does he have any sort of a projectile attack, or is he all?
He uses
melee?
his saw blade a lot, and he also
Does he have flames or something?
Flames, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Yes.
That'd be his projectile.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Awesome.
So yeah, he's a lot of fun. And I've also been playing with the alternate start mods, which I'm pretty sure those will be available, or if not already available for the console.
Is there a good one or good two?
There's two of them. Let me just
call their titles.
Yeah, I'm gonna. One of them's called Another Life, and the other one's called Alternate Start Infinite Answer. Now, I played with them. Ultimately, decided I did not like them, and the reason is, and I understand why they went this way, but I think over time, new ones will. But the pretense of both of them is you're a synth.
Oh.
I believe it's the only way that the mod authors, I don't know this for sure, I'm just assuming it's the only way that they could make it work fairly seamlessly was to use that part of the main programming of the game. So they take you to just a sort of a generic bathroom area where you are with Nora and Nick or whatever. And
Nick and
sorry,
Nora.
the old movie reference there. I can't remember. Soul Survivor and Nora or whatever.
Nate, I think.
Nate, sorry. You do your thing, making your character, and then you sort of walk through a door, and you get whatever transitional thing the mod author uses, and you end up in the synth creation area in the Institute. You're not really. I mean, you're in the Institute, so the pretense is that you are a synth being created by the Institute, and you are allowed to pick your, how you're going to be sort of thrown out into the wasteland.
And which one was that one?
Both of them. They both do this.
Both
they
of
both
them
have
do
essentially the same approach. Yeah, they do it in slightly different ways, but with the same approach. Both there's Another Life is one, and Alternate Start Infinite Answer is the other. I think I liked the one called Another Life a little bit better. It seemed a little bit more seamless, a little less cumbersome. But they're both pretty good, and they both give you lots of options. But you're still a synth.
And you
there's
have
really no way around that.
So if you were actually doing a role play, could you just kind of ignore that?
Yeah, you could. Yes, you could ignore it. Yes, okay. Absolutely, you could ignore it. You could ignore the fact that that's the only way that they could manufacture you as a new player character. But it still leaves that sort of.
I mean, shit. Why couldn't a vertebrate just drop you off and be like, "Oh, here you go"?
I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, any number of possibilities.
You're in the BOS. You're a new recruit. There you go. Or you're just a random traveler. You
there's all kinds of
from DC.
There's There's all kinds of. I mean, there's one of them. I forget which one of them has the option of being an NCR ranger. I mean, there's all kinds of cool stuff. And
Well,
complete
that'd
with
be fun.
that's from New
New
Vegas.
Vegas, right?
Yeah, yeah. It requires that you have a couple of other mods in order to make it work. There's some textures, for the NCR uniform and
Clothing.
stuff like that. Yeah. But so they're cool. I don't know. Ultimately, I decided to just go through with the original start and just have.
See, I'm not terribly interested in doing that a ton more times, so I am interested in looking into these alternate starts.
Yeah.
So I hope that they
Well, for instance, I think
get a couple other options at some point too, or maybe just a randomized start would be awesome, just where it pops.
Oh, they both have random.
Where you just wake up wherever, right? Okay.
They will. Yes, absolutely.
Most
of them, the way they get around the main quest is they just sort of look. For instance, the NCR version, I think, automatically advances you right through to. I forget what the name of that level. It's like 5 or 6 levels in of the main quest. It just runs you right. You pop into the world and it runs you right through, and you end up actually leveling up to about level 5 or 6 automatically, because it's skipping you right through all that stuff just to get rid of it, get it off the and
bypass.
Yeah, kind of, and so that's a little jarring, but. Again, if you're role playing, you just sort of ignore that and you just dive in where you want to dive in. You're right on that score. I mean, you forget about the synth stuff and all the other stuff, and just dive in where you want. But personally, my personal favorite alternate start in Skyrim is the I was robbed and left for dead one.
Oh yeah.
But there isn't one of those yet for these.
So. Oh, there certainly soon will be, right?
I think so. Yeah, eventually though. So.
Maybe not soon. But.
That's where you start with basically nothing. I mean, you start with rags and nothing, and that's a lot of fun.
We just got an update on the consoles yesterday.
I heard
2 days ago.
Yeah.
Does anybody know what that was about?
No idea.
I should, because I'm the only one here who has a console. But
well, was it a console-only update? I don't know if it was a PC.
I don't know. I was looking at for news about it, and all I'm finding is that they launched a new beta for 1.6 for the for the PC users that is now live on Steam. So you can download the beta for patches for 1.6 on Steam. But I didn't see anything about the console.
What's the next
update
piece of
from
DLC
yesterday.
coming?
I don't know. It has to be July sometime. I would assume the third Tuesday in July, isn't that?
Yeah, because Nuka World isn't coming until August, so there's something else coming in.
It's the waste. Oh gosh.
The Vault Builder, Vault Tech.
Yes,
that's it.
Vault
Builder, yeah.
Where you can build a vault.
Which you can also already do with some of the mods, but I think again, I'm sort of looking forward to what Bethesda does with that.
Mm-hmm.
So that should be fun. I'll grab it.
Yeah. Although mods are not coming to Sony anytime soon.
So. No big surprise.
Oh.
Yeah, we've got that conversation going on the Facebook group.
Yeah.
A lot of people chiming in, going, "Yep, that's definitely a Sony thing. Yeah. That's Sony's fault."
Yeah. Well, they've always been like that. They're just a very closed world. Sony, a walled garden, I guess, is the. But.
Yeah.
And I think it wasn't going to be that great anyway. The space cap was much lower than the Xbox already right off the bat, and so I think it was going to be unsatisfactory. So maybe it was just a mutual decision between both Bethesda and Sony. I don't know.
Put the hold on it until they actually figure out some real answers. Yeah.
Somebody said somewhere, I think we talked about this on one of the other podcasts, that it was one of the big things was sound files, again, because Sony has their own proprietary format. So, and that's, that kind of stuff, that could be a huge stumbling block. So
Sony made the Blu-ray, right?
Well, they made the Betamax.
I'm just
not a big
curious.
DVD
like
guy,
they do like to have their own shit.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Well, as a photographer, I mean, I remember, memory sticks, some ridiculous you know,
they're incompatible with anything else besides
yeah,
their own.
completely incompatible with everything
Yeah,
except.
I was trying to get my PS3 Wi-Fi access. I was looking at their Wi-Fi card or whatever, and the one sold by Sony, which is the only one it's compatible with, was like $90 or something, and they make other ones for like $12. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
right.
it's like, are you
Yeah.
kidding me?
Yeah, it's funny. It's one of the. It's just such a strange sort of dichotomy. There's this amazing sort of innovative company, uh, but they just have absolutely no interest in playing well
We're
with
gonna
others.
take our ball and get the
Yeah,
fuck out of here.
yeah, yeah. So, um, but I don't
So,
regret my PS4 at all. But it's
yeah. But you definitely play more on the PC,
oh,
right?
I've been a PC gamer for
Yeah, yeah.
decades. So yeah, yes, I
Yeah.
do.
Hey, I was wanting to ask you more about your manufacturing build on your character here. What are some of the perks that you're going to be aiming for?
Oh well, let's see.
What are the aspects of the special attributes that you want to accentuate?
Yeah, so all right, I got it right in front of me here. I started in with 1 strength, 3 perception, and then I added the book for 4, because I do want to have some decent use of VATs. 5 endurance, 6 charisma. I wanted more, but I also wanted um, high intelligence, so I took 8 intelligence, and then 3 agility and 2 luck. So he's already. I mean, I've already taken the Scrounger perk, the Scrapper perk, the Cap Collector perk.
Scrounger, Scrapper,
Yeah,
Cap Collector. That's one.
yeah. All those, and what else? Oh, I think did I do a stealth? I don't have the game up right now. Uh, he's like level 5 or 6 right now. I think I did one. I think I took gun nut because I wanted to make some things
Mm-hmm.
like ammunition. I have a mod that, and I actually is that now built into one of the DLCs where you can craft ammunition? I don't remember. Um,
It
I think you
it
can.
is now, right?
Yeah, I think
In
so.
contraptions, doesn't that
Yeah,
let you
yeah,
build ammunition? I have
yes.
not attempted that yet, but I've seen some like manufacturing warehouses people have been building with all sorts of cool conveyors and
Yeah, and if it's anything like the mod I already had that allows you to craft ammunition, you do have to, in order to craft, you start right off the bat with being able to craft 10 millimeter and 38 caliber, but you can't craft anything else until you take the right perks. I think this is
mm-hmm.
possibly the same thing with the workshop,
Oh,
um, and so yeah, I forget what else he took gun nut and those 3. Oh, and of course, and local leader, yeah, because I wanted to start
okay. So
doing supply lines right off the bat
let's
immediately.
analyze this a little bit. Scrounger, is that the one?
Scroungers and
Scrapper's when you get better parts after you tear
right, you
stuff
can get
down.
screws and things from guns and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. That's in intelligence. Scrounger is in the luck tree maybe,
Yes, I
and
believe that's right.
yeah, and then cap collector is in charisma. Um,
Local leader's also charisma.
and local leader, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'm going to do lone wanderer. It's not. First of all, because I've got 2 companions anyway, and I don't really need the extra weight um, that you get with lone wanderer. And he's very low strength anyway, so. I'm hoping to rely on making a lot of money and being able to buy good stuff if I want to, and then
Mm.
picking up good drops, legendary
Oh,
drops, and things like that
I
for
just
armor.
noticed something here, Victor. There, you said cap collector, but what I thought you were talking about is actually a different one called fortune finder. There's two.
Oh, what's Fortune Finder?
Fortune finder is you've learned you've learned to discover the wasteland's hidden wealth and find more bottle caps and containers.
Wait a minute, where is that? In
It's
which
in
tree is
luck
it?
number 2.
Oh, okay. No, yep, that's not.
No,
No,
luck number 1 even.
yeah, no. Cap Collector is getting better prices from
Yeah, it's from
vendors.
merchants.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Gosh, so
Um,
I don't know which would be better? Is it better to get a good deal or better to have more money?
I think it's better to get a good deal, personally.
Yeah. Speaking, that's the sort of thing that you can actually do a cost benefit analysis of if you do want to work through the game like that.
Yeah.
But speaking of a cost benefit analysis, shout out to Fallout Off the Record again. Of course, we love those guys over there. But on their Facebook page, someone did a cost benefit analysis of producing your own ammunition, and evidently you're losing either money or parts and junk in the long run. It's cheaper to still just buy it than it is to produce it, I think.
That's fascinating.
Well, that may be with the contraptions workshop angle. With the mod, you can set the number of pieces of ammunition that you can make per unit of making, or whatever you want to call it, and I think it's
you can
dependent.
Make per unit of making.
Yeah, well, for each session of making, so
yes.
for every given amount of scrap you put in, you can get 10, 25, 50 pieces of whatever ammunition out. I think that's leveled up based on perks, and thereby I think you can make it more cost effective. And frankly, it's a goddamn game, and I want to make my own ammunition, and I don't really give a damn if it's more cost effective or not.
Analysis. Yeah, that's a very.
But I
point.
appreciate the work somebody put in.
It's great that people do that sort of thing.
Yeah, totally.
Because I don't have time to figure this out, and exactly like this. How does electricity work when you're building? That's still a fucking mystery to me in this game. It seems to work great in one area and shitty in another area. I don't understand. Like I have the nuclear power generator, whatever that thing's called, so it's producing 100 power. So I have plenty of power to power, but I have a 14-story tower that I want to power, and so I've run a conduit to the outside of just one of the walls. Well, I put some lights on the inside of the place, and those lit up. I was like, well, shit. So all you have to do is run a conduit to the outside of the wall, and the inside will light up. Then I looked across to the other side of the room. I was like, well, shit, it only got half of the room. I didn't get the other side. So I'm trying to figure out, how do I power the other side of the room? So I was putting conduits on the outside of the building and running power lines between the conduits, and that wasn't working. So I tried to put a conduit on the inside of the wall and ran power to the inside, and that wasn't working either. I'm just like, what the hell is going on? I don't understand how to do this. But the weird thing was, it did half of the room for 4 stories up and then stopped. So
yeah, it's very.
I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Yeah. And then I saw there's power conduits, and there's some other thing. I was like, oh, maybe I need to feed these along the inside of the wall. It looked like a power coupler or something. I don't even know what it was.
Yeah, the conduits
it's
are
still
new.
A mystery to me.
I haven't tried them yet. And Bethesda's really bad at telling you how it works. Yeah, it's just totally obtuse.
Yeah.
But that, I mean, that's I've noticed that it covers a radius around wherever the connection point is, and often it'll only go halfway across a room.
I don't know what the fuck.
But I have had luck, even though I don't like the way it looks, with connecting wires across the interior of a space.
I see. I didn't. I don't know why not. It's so weird.
And then I
need someone to draw up a blueprint of how to wire the room. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, that could be helpful if someone.
Well, I mean, yes. I mean, it's entirely possible that may be the way Bethesda did it underneath the hood there. In other words, if you do sit down and really pre-think things enough to draw a schematic like any electrical engineer would do, maybe that's the way to do it. I mean, but you still have to understand how they distribute power.
I'm thinking of it like in terms of SimCity. SimCity, your settlers or inhabitants or citizens could exist 3 spaces from a road is where you could up to build your residential. So you would build in 6 square blocks because that is 3 from each side, so they could build in and form this block. So I'm thinking like this, like the power, it probably goes it has a radius like you were saying, and it goes up to 6 spaces away, theoretical spaces, quote unquote.
Right.
And,
Yeah, you wonder what their unit of measurement is.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm just like, how the fuck does this work?
Well, is it maybe it's measured by the squares that you get when you build like foundations? So foundation squares.
That's true.
There's the large one, which is equal to 4 small ones. So maybe it's spaced that way. Anyway, yeah, there's got to be somebody out there who's done this.
Who's mapped this out, yeah. So somebody help us out. Also, I'm going to put a call out for this. I've been scouring the internet. I have not found this anywhere, but I desperately need this to see what kind of clusterfuck I'm about to create here. But I need a Far Harbor flowchart for all 3 different factions just to make sure something doesn't cross in a weird way, and we're going to create trouble here for the round table. So I need a Far Harbor flowchart for all 3 different factions. If anyone knows of something like that out there, give me a heads up. And Kara, I think you had not an email, but a tweet.
Yeah, someone tweeted a tweet.
Someone tweeted a tweet?
Somebody tweeted a tweet at us.
They used Twiddle.
It was actually from Plug and Play. They sent in a question, and Zach asked, does anyone use the phone app for map and inventory in Fallout 4? Tried it, ?
Early on, I did.
Yeah, I think he's referring to the PipBoy app, right?
Yep, I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. I gave it a shot for a little bit, too. What did you think of it, Victor?
I thought it was great because it actually you could actually directly affect things in the game from the app. I thought that was pretty cool. But ultimately, I just kind of stopped using it. It was cool. It was nifty, but it didn't really add that much value to the gameplay, I thought.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if I had the original Founders Edition or whatever with the actual Pip-Boy, that came with it, from the original Collector's Edition of Fallout 4, and I could stick my iPhone into that, and I could use that as a real Pip-Boy while I was playing the game, that would be kind of cool. But
yeah,
beyond that,
a couple of those.
Yeah, that would be like totally geeking out.
Yeah.
But
yeah. I know.
A nerdgasm, in fact.
I know, Andrew, you used it for a little bit too, didn't you?
No, I still pop it on every once in a while. I just basically use it to let myself know what I'm doing if I'm ever at like work and kind of wondering, oh, what am I doing in the game right now? I'll pop it open and kind of look to see where my character is. And usually I've done it within the last week or so I have a pretty good idea of where I'm going or what I'm doing. If I just want to think about, oh shit, I got a round table assignment. See, I need to do this and this. What is my character? What do I need to do this week? Okay, I see my character is down visiting Virgil, so I can go over to that pyramid on my way back and 2 birds, 1 stone, that sort of thing. Sort of plan out trips and stuff.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
So, Victor, for those who haven't used the app yet, how do you manage things via the app, actually in game?
Well, I mean, it's the same. It's basically the same interface as your Pip-Boy in game. So it just works the same way, and anything you do in the app is reflected in the game as long as they're connected over your local Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, literally, I haven't used it since I don't know. When did the game come out? Last November. I think the last time I used it was late December, maybe. So
bit, yeah.
Yeah. So I couldn't give you a really detailed.
No, what I do use more is the Smart Glass app, but that's basically just for screenshots, so I can post my screenshots.
Oh, okay.
What would be cool? What I have mentioned this before in the past. would be great if you could see your screenshots on the PipBoy app. I thought that would be neat, but that has not yet come to pass.
Yeah.
We do have another email from, and I can't get over how appropriate this is, from Dylan Geiger.
Oh, that is
Awesome.
perfect.
Dylan Geiger wrote us. He said, "Hey, fellas, I've been listening to your podcast nonstop at work lately. I absolutely love you guys." I'm assuming he's counting gals, too, Kara. It's such a loose, casual, fun podcast. I've been a Fallout fan since Fallout 2. Ooh, kudos to you, buddy. That's awesome. And I just wanted to say that you guys beat the lame IGN podcasts every day of the week, and I can't wait to hear more. I'd upvote you guys on iTunes if I could, but I'm listening to you on Podbay. And thanks for eating up all my data. I have a 10-month-old kid. Otherwise, I would love to join in the next roundtable season. But if you want to roll me one, I will do my best to keep up. I mainly just wanted to say thanks for giving me a wonderful distraction from my daily job, and I appreciate you guys, what you guys are doing. See you in the wasteland, Mike Trees.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, that was a glowing recommendation. My goodness.
Yeah, that was really nice.
Okay, so it's from Mike Trees, but it says from Dylan Geiger, so maybe
Perhaps
Geiger was a
that's
little
his-
planted of a too appropriate of a name.
Yeah, perhaps it's an in-game character or something. But yeah, I mean, totally. Do your best to keep up with the roundtable in the next season, and you can continue to post it later on. And
Yeah, I have to go back through and flag all these people who are asking for submissions. We've got a full boatload of people who are wanting to do play-alongs for season 2.
Yeah.
It's great to have interest in the show. Thanks everyone for listening and jumping on for season 2 of the Roundtable.
Absolutely.
We will have some audio feedback at the end of the show from Lee. Lee's been a recent addition to the group, and he's been pretty active. And thanks for being a participant, Lee. Thanks for joining the group over at Facebook. Again, that is a Skyrim Addict podcast and the Fallout feed.
all one title.
All one word. Not one word, but all one title for our Facebook group. So thanks, Lee, for writing in. There'll be an audio submission at the end of the show.
Yeah, he said he recorded it in segments, which I'm going to assume is because, and I haven't heard the audio yet, so I'm going to hear it when everyone else does. I'm assuming is because he started giving his responses almost immediately after he did something, which I think is really, that's a lot of dedication, and that keeps it pretty fresh. I kind of like that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say I didn't like everyone else's submissions. Like,
burn. Kara didn't like your guys.
Shoot. Didn't Pat have audio feedback last week? I think his
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, number one.
Pat's got a dreamy voice. We need to get that dude on the show.
Yes. Pat, do podcasting, whether with us or someone else. Holy crap.
Yeah, start a show. The Pat Show. The Pat Down with Pat.
Trademark. I'd totally listen to
Patent pending, patent pending, patent pending.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was really neat. I liked it a lot. I honestly, I think I'm kind of the same way as Mr. Geiger. Like, I stumbled on the Skyrim Addict and the Fallout feed, and it was just something really nice and pleasant to kind of break up my day while I was doing things at work. And it's just an awesome community. I am continually just bowled over with how nice and interactive people are. And I think that's in part due to the guys who started the community. You guys set a pretty great tone.
There's no room for drama. Life's too short.
Yeah, totally.
We also heard from Ray Butcher. Thanks for writing in, Ray. This is a sort of a longer one. He says, "Dear Roundtable crew, while you were working on the new season with Far Harbor Play, I came across this in a recent playthrough, and I had not seen this before. I was working for the railroad and picked up a Randolph dead drop. It said, quote, 'Clear hostiles at,' unquote, at the marker, and it was in the far northeast corner of the map. I knew that this was Nakano's, and as I approached, the marker was on the boat. As I approached the house, it initiated the Far From Home quest. When I talked to the dad, instead of acknowledging me as a detective, He called me the Good Samaritan.
Huh.
Once on the island, everything played as normal. The Randolph quest took me to a location where I wiped out some enemies and returned to the headquarters of the railroad for my reward. Since I had been to the island, Agent Boxer was waiting for me to report. I just thought you might be interested in this. In this playthrough, I had not gone to rescue Valentine yet, so it may be possible to start Far Harbor just by going to the Nakano's house. I still have to test that. I have to have some character that hasn't gone to save Nick yet. There are a few where I've completely ignored the main storyline. I'm regularly starting new players to try different aspects of this fantastic game. My Steam counter has me at 1,051 hours in game since release day.
That's a lot of hours since November.
Yeah, it is. If you ever need a scenario tested, let me know. One downside to my constant player changes is I don't have anyone over 70. Sounds like you, Victor.
70? I don't think I've ever taken a
Gotten
player
over
to
30.
30 or 40 at max, even in Skyrim at 1,700 hours in Skyrim.
Yeah.
So I don't think I've ever taken a player.
Man, he has
5 or 6.
1,051 in-game hours since November. I think in how many years did we do the Skyrim Addict Roundtable? I think I got like 1,200, maybe 1,500 total.
Yeah, I'm at 17 something since sometime in 2012 or something like that.
Yeah, and that's me just counting up my old save file times. I don't have an official counter like Steam or anything like that.
Yeah.
And that is probably also counting those nights where you're just sort of sleepy when you play and you wake up and your character's just walking into the corner over and over again.
That's never happened to me, ever.
Oh, holy shit. It's 3 in the morning. My character's been walking into the corner for 2.5 hours.
That's funny.
Yeah. I get sleepy, guys.
Yeah, no. Faceplant.
Yeah, so thanks, Ray, for writing in.
Yes,
I think we got just sorry, guys, bear with me here. We have something from the General. I feel like I'm about to buy some car insurance or something. Hi, I've been listening to you for the entire season. I would love to be a part of the next season that will involve the DLC content. Looking forward to hearing back from you, the General. Well, General, again, thanks for writing in, and we'll hit you up.
Yeah, totally.
Pat. Oh wait, holy shit, we're just talking about Pat. Pat wrote in. Hello, Fallout Feed crew. I'm almost done with the epic roundtable wrap episode. What a great way to end the first season. Loved hearing how the characters have progressed during the playthrough. I too have been obsessed with the Deliverer, but I am avoiding it with my current character to force me out of my comfort zone. One thing about that gun, with a fully maxed out agility character, you can actually get off more shots with that gun and a full AP meter than the game will actually let you queue up.
Wow.
Oh.
I'm not near a game right now, but it will let you get off something like 16 shots, but the game will only let you buffer something like 12. It is a brutal weapon with gung fu and critical banker, etc.
Which is the Deliverer?
Isn't that the Deacon gun?
Is
It
it?
has
Okay.
like a silencer on it, I think. Is that right, Kara?
I think so. That's what's ringing a bell for me, but
It's the one Jeremy always uses.
yeah.
Jeremy was talking about because he loves and he had the exact same scenario Pat just discussed, in that he's played like 2 players already and he used the Deliver in both of them, and for the round table he was making a point to not use it, but he fell back into it automatically because it's a gun he loves so much. So. Pat continues, I don't think you mentioned that the Institute explosion takes out a couple of bridges across the river. The one near Hangman's Alley and the one next to it on the east side are both destroyed in the blast. I've been using the alley as a main base of operations in my survival game, and it's crimped my style to go to the 3rd bridge over when I want to go north. Oh yeah, that would be annoying.
Yeah, that never occurred to me. Huh.
Oh, geez. I may have to invest in Aqua Boy for that character. Oh, that's a good remedy there, Pat. Aqua
Yep.
Boy.
Yeah.
Don't wear power armor. By the way, I have managed to misplace. Oh, speaking of power armor, by the way, I've managed to misplace a fully tricked out suit of XO1 armor in my survival game.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Now
I
misplaced or
I wonder
lost
what
down
he
and
means
about?
by fully tricked out. What do you guys do on your power armor to trick it out? I haven't
Paint
done any
jobs.
paint jobs. I see.
Yeah.
I've messed with paint a little bit, but evidently you can like build jet boosters and stuff. I haven't messed with
Mhm.
that ever.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
plus modded up or whatever you call it.
I did
Leveled up to the highest level or whatever it is.
I did
Yeah.
have a piece that would automatically heal you faster. It had like a stem pack, auto stem pack injections or
Oh,
something.
sweet.
Yeah, those are nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's jetpacks and headlamps and a couple of other things. I think there's one that makes you move faster too. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of like little tiny things that, and
Mhm.
and honestly, I haven't gotten to the point where I'm like armor / blacksmith enough to indulge in all of those.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering, like, how many things can you put on the power armor before it just ends up like this one giant monstrosity of
It's gonna look like a
electronics?
DeLorean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really like moving around in them. Because I'm playing first person all the time. It's
Does
maybe
that
a little,
screen cut out all the corners and sides, right?
a little bit. I mean, the HUD takes up more space, and you move kind of. I don't know. I don't. I'm not a huge fan of power armor, except
No.
when you really need it. You know.
Yeah, it is very minor what it cuts off, but I agree. There is that sense of like a narrower field of vision, which can
Yeah.
really get on the nerves.
And lots
But-
of glumphing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Um,
I feel like I can get away with ballistic weave and rat away.
oh yeah. You
And I
can,
don't even
totally.
need
Yeah.
power armor really if you
Yeah.
got those two things. You know?
Yeah.
Pat continues on about his power armor. By the way, I've managed to misplace a fully tricked out suit of XO1 power armor in my survival game. I took it off somewhere, and listen to this sucks, and then made the mistake of putting on my T60 suit, so now that's the one that's on my map marker now. Anyone know a trick for finding your second most previously used set of power armor?
Oh.
That is the question, folks. How do you make your it only shows the most recent power armor you wore.
Yeah, as far
You know
as
what you
I
do, Pat?
know.
You revert on an old save, buddy. Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say, go to a save and see if you can follow your way forward a little bit and see where you were.
Yeah, and
Hopefully you don't lose too much time.
Well, no, he doesn't have to save over it. He can just find out where it was.
Where it was, and then go
Yeah.
back to it. Yeah, good call, Kara. You're smart.
Yeah,
So,
that's
but
what I'm saying.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Okay, you're smart too, Victor.
No. I was saying go to a save and then just sort of move forward through it. Just sort of try to sort of forward track yourself.
Yeah, find
Yeah.
where it was, and then you
Yeah,
can go
exactly.
back to your current save, and then
Right.
you'll know where it is already.
Yeah.
There you go. That's how you do it, Pat. We actually solved someone's problem, guys. Do you know how good that makes me
We
feel?
don't know that yet.
Yeah.
It'll work.
We'll have to
That
see
has to
later
work.
on Stump the Chumps.
Stump the chumps.
We provided a
It's
solution.
not stump the chumps. It's the Pat down with Pat.
Yeah.
So he says, looking forward to the next season of the Roundtable. Thanks for the great work on the podcast. See you in the wasteland, Pat. Thanks again for writing in, Pat. You've provided some really good feedback for us on both email and audio. We appreciate that. Speaking of audio feedback, please, if anyone would like your email read or your audio feedback on the show, please send us an email at thefalloutfeed@gmail.com. If you would like to sign up for the next season of the Roundtable, please write us at falloutroundtable@gmail.com. And thanks everyone for listening and writing in. It's really cool that we have this listener participation. We love that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely love it.
Definitely. So, yeah, just one last quick modding thing before we wind
Wrap up.
down. Just today, the well-known, slightly notorious, but excellent modder by the name of Eleonora, who does all these amazing player homes for Skyrim and faction housing and
Yeah,
stuff.
you mentioned her last episode.
Right, and she took a lot of her mods off because of the whole mod theft thing. Well, just
Yeah.
today she uploaded an all-in-one of all her faction housing back up onto the Nexus. So if anybody's looking for some really, really nicely well-appointed, beautiful faction housing, like the room you get on the Pridwin, and I forget where all the other ones, the railroad house you get, or room or whatever. Uh, anyway, she just uploaded those today, so go
What's a
looking on the
keyword
Nexus.
we should search for?
I would just search for her name, Eleonora, Elianora, I believe is. But it's just faction housing overhaul is the name of the mod. Um, it has all of them in it.
And that's the different styles of housing that you can use to build with. You're saying.
Yeah, let's see. It's not. I was just about to install it
It's
to
like
see
I
if
was
it
asking
showed
you
it.
last week about if I want to build an institute.
No. These are static rooms. In other words,
Oh,
your
okay.
room on the Pridwin, which is kind of bare bones.
Oh, I get it.
She's done
Yes,
a whole overhaul of these. That's her thing. She
I
doesn't
see. She doesn't
give you
add new
stuff to
things. She
assets to
overhauls
build with.
existing.
Yeah,
Yes.
and
Okay.
most of the stuff in there is static. It's just beautifully made, really
I
gorgeous. I
see. It
mean,
can't.
yeah,
You mean you can't interact with it? It's
not
just
so
there for
much. No.
decoration. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it adds to the ambiance.
Oh my God, yeah.
Okay.
She's really talented. Yeah. So.
Surprised Kara didn't call me out.
I was tempted. It's only because I just have my stupid thick American accent and I can't read pretty.
I can't read
I
good.
can't read so good. Speaking of mods, I found out I've been retweeting things through the Fallout feed, and I forget which ones I've retweeted. But today I found out about this NVIDIA Fallout 4 mod contest.
Mm.
Unfortunately, the end date is July 3rd, but for people who already have
You
mods
sure
up,
about that?
I think so.
Oh,
Let's
the only reason I ask is I just found out about it today too because somebody had uploaded a mod, and I don't remember if it was for Fallout or Skyrim, but in the mod description, the person said voting begins on July 11th.
Yeah, the voting begins on July 11th, but the contest submission deadline is July 3rd.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, and there are like 4 different categories. Not like there are. One is status, like mods manipulating the way things work in the game. Inventory, mods based around creating weapons enhancements to existing weapons, apparel, so on and so forth. And then data, mods focused on new Quest and Fallout 4's workshop mode. And map, mods featuring the new environmental elements like new towns, cities, vegetation. That's what gave me a reminder when you were mentioning, her overhauls. And the thing is, this contest has some pretty nice prizes. Like finalists get a Bethesda gift bag and the GeForce GTX GPU. First place category winners, so there are multiple, get $5,000, the Bethesda gift bag and the GeForce GTX GPU, but the
Wow.
grand prize gets $10,000,
Good
a
lord.
Fallout 4 custom PC,
Wow.
and engineering support from NVIDIA.
Wow.
Nice.
This is some major cheddar. And
So
there's
you're telling me there's a chance?
so like I said, unfortunately, like the deadline is the 3rd here, so that sucks.
So
But
get on it.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Hurry up.
you definitely need to go to like contests.nvida.com/en-us/Fallout 4 mod contest for the details.
Or Google, you know,
NVIDIA,
Fallout NVIDIA Fallout 4 contest.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because they want you to use the Fallout 4 creation kit mod, I think. So I don't know what
Well, that's fun.
Yeah. There's another one, a different contest on Reddit. It's called Vault Tech Official. Contraptions, Wonders, and Other Structures. Vault-Tec is looking for talented architects who specialize in protecting, or otherwise, settlements from the dangers of the wasteland. As Vault-Tec Architecture Officer, you should always be on the lookout for new threats to settlers, and remind dwellers, even if everyone is starving and freezing, it's worse outside. And
Even if they're starving or freezing.
yeah, this event ends the 20th of July, so there's more time for this, and it's I guess pertinent to people who really use Reddit because you get 1 month of Reddit Gold, a special flair, your creation is featured in the sidebar, and a 3D model of the design of the Vault-Tec HQ guest lounge.
Good lord.
Yeah, and people have asked, well, what's that? What the heck is that? And some people are saying,
Guest lounge.
yeah, so I think you get a physical 3D model of this guest lounge, and someone linked up an image in the Reddit, so that's something to look at. But the entry requirements are simply submit an image or link of your creation. Feel free to explain how it works or how it was created. Top comment entries only, 1 entry per dweller. Upvote your favorite entries to make sure they're noticed by the Vault-Tec architects. So mods are allowed as long as your creation involves some form of independent creativity. Entry eligibility is at the discretion of the overseer. Any workshop items can be used, including all DLC items, and your entry can be located in any wasteland, excluding Fallout Shelter. So that's an event. It's under Contraptions, Wonders, and Other Structures, I think I already mentioned, but just in case. And that's for Reddit. So we've got a couple of cool little options out and about for contests.
Nice.
That's great.
Yes.
Get involved, everybody.
Yeah, I don't have the creativity for it, but I am happy to watch others.
Yeah, it's a little late to be learning the creation kit and building a mod that will win the NVIDIA contest. But, you know.
Well, good luck to you, those of you who can.
Yeah.
I just want to say, Victor uploaded a few pictures of Skyrim that are breathtaking.
It got really dark, though.
I lightened up my phone when I turned up the brightness, and that helped.
Yeah, that's the Skyrim I've been working on. It's starting to look really nice. But that really impressed me. That mod. That's an old mod too. The Towns and Villages Enhanced.
But it's cool. Everyone check out the Facebook group for some really neat. I almost didn't even recognize. Was it Whiterun, I think?
It's Whiterun, but that's also that mod adds trees to Whiterun. But then there's the Simply Bigger Trees mod, which makes all the trees like 1.5 times bigger, and that is just. I talked about that when one of the Skyrim episodes that Colin and I did. That mod just does amazing things with the game in forested sections of the game, like Falkreath and stuff like that. It's a totally different place. It's like walking through the redwood forest in California. That
sounds amazing. Yeah. I'm so excited to do some mods on Skyrim. Other closing thoughts here. I'm just getting excited for Vault-Tec Workshop because I was thinking all along it'll be fun to build your own vault, of course. Sure, that'll be sweet. You can build and design your own vault. But then it just dawned on me earlier today when I was kind of thinking about it. Holy shit! You can build your own vault, recruit settlers, and I wonder what kind of fucked up experimentation I can do on these guys.
Oh God!
It's like yes. What are we gonna do? I hope that they built something like that in. You know what I mean? There's like psychological experiments and stuff like that. It's gonna be great.
Oh man. Well, so we're still working our way through Far Harbor.
We barely talked about Far Harbor at all.
Well, because we're super distracted by the new DLC. It's hard not to be. I'm loving what I'm seeing. I hope more of you listeners post more pictures of what you're doing in your games on the Facebook group, or tweet a picture at us. That's fine too.
Somebody post some electrical schematics to teach me how to build electricity into my settlements, please.
Absolutely, that would be a huge thing to learn. I
Mhm.
agree. Figure out how Bethesda did that.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think so. I think basically everyone's really having a lot of fun with the latest workshop DLC. So, or I should say contraptions. So I think that's another thumbs up
I
for
think it's
two.
pronounced contraptions.
I swear to God. Uh,
Um,
well, on that note, I'm gonna wrap this up. Okay. So basically, more thumbs up to Bethesda for their new DLC. It's pretty cool. Anyone got some closing thoughts?
I'm all clicked out.
Third person rules.
Yeah, right.
I have
First
this
person.
whole argument worked out. I actually convinced, not convinced Shalene, but she actually said, "I see your point." Not that she would ever switch to third person, but she understood my argument, which I thought was a step in the right direction.
I kind of agree with that. I see your point. I think you're full of shit, but I see your point.
Well, I'm definitely full of shit, but I think I make a couple of good points.
No, I do. I was just kidding. I see your point. But I am the same as many. I'm so used to playing in first person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, I've never been a first person. I never played games that were first person dominant. So.
Well, honestly, I don't like the way the character moves in third person. It looks a little dorky to me, so that's...
Do an agility of 10 and you'll love it.
Really?
It affects how affects when you go from standing to running, it's herky-jerky at lower agility levels.
Really?
Really?
You increase your agility, you get a smoother run. Like, if you jump off of a building and your agility is low, you'll like stumble and fall, and it takes you 4 or 5 seconds to stand up again before you can move. You have a high agility. It's not quite a tuck and roll and run, but it is almost. You like hit the ground kind of running if your agility is higher.
Wow, interesting.
You're not yanking our chain, are you?
I don't believe so, because this is the only experimentation I've done with it is my Dead is Dead survival character. I did full agility. And he hits the ground running.
Interesting.
So that I could be mistaken, but as
Yeah,
far as I can tell, in my small test area here, that is the case.
You get used to it. I get used to it in games like Uncharted 4 and The Witcher and stuff like that, where you have to play in third person. You get used to it, and they are fairly smooth. I mean, the things like in Skyrim, for instance, the bow-legged jump just drives me crazy. It's just like I hate it's ugly, and
they pull their knees up really high in a weird way.
I just hate the way it looks.
Well, some of my favorite games I kind of took a break from gaming for a while, but I got back into gaming like in late PS3 era, and some games that got me back into gaming were Red Dead Redemption and Uncharted, and those are both third-person shooter based. So that's kind of what I'm used to. So I guess that's why I like third person.
Okay, I can see.
God, I just extended the show another 5 minutes with that stupid comment. I'm
sorry.
Andrew.
Oh, how horrible! More content. No, it's a neat little tidbit, and I'm not that I'm calling you a liar, but I hope that it's true, because I think that's a nice little touch on Bethesda's part. That's pretty cool.
I'd swear that my survival mode character is better, and I don't want to be sexist and say that it's because he's a male character. Because all my other characters are female.
The Fallout feed gets political.
So easy to demonize a woman. It's terrible these days. She can't even run right.
Oh,
she runs like a girl, Victor.
Well, I mean, she's a woman, so.
Yeah.
All right, I think that's pretty much it, right?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yep.
All right. Now, I know I'm just being repetitive here, guys, but you can find us on Twitter at the Fallout Feed. You can also find us on Facebook at A Skyrim Addict Podcast and the Fallout Feed, all one title. You can find us online at asapodcasting.com. You can email us at thefalloutfeed@gmail.com. And we're on Twitch, ASA Podcasting. And don't forget to check out the new roundtable schedule coming out soon. So that's pretty exciting.
Woo.
Yeah. So that's it, guys. We will see you in the wasteland. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening.
Bye, everybody.